Zum ersten Mal kämpft er heute in einem Finale eines Weltranglistenturnieres. Bitte begrüßen Sie den Amateurweltmeister von 2022 aus China, Jiahui. Sein Gegner ist der Seriensieger dieser Saison. 3 Turniere hat er schon gewonnen, bestreitet heute sein 7. Finale in dieser Saison. Der zweimalige German Masters Champion, Judd.
I think Judd put it best himself last night. He said, yes, there are bigger prize funds in some of the tournaments, but walking out here at the Tempodrome when it's packed like this is a money can't buy experience. What a great ovation the two players had ahead of the best of 19 frame final, playing for the £80,000 first prize, the Brandon Parker Trophy, and there'll be a picture with that now. 8 frames this afternoon as the pictures are taken ahead of a mouth-watering clash here in Berlin today.
Trump 2 frames away from being crowned champion once again here. Frame 13 of a possible 19.
Yeah, very tall order from here. Of course, while Jiahui can keep Judd to 8 frames rather than on the brink at 9, I suppose he'll feel he's got just a little bit of room to manoeuvre, but not a load. He'll have to play some of the snooker we saw from him at the World Championships in that quarter and semi-final where he was so brilliant.
Touching ball.
But Judd, he looks as if he's going to be tough to beat, whatever is thrown at him, quite honestly.
Foul. The miss.
He had to make a very thin contact. He just missed it by an absolute whisker. But given that the cue went in to the top left pocket, I think Judd will, from hand, be fancying this long red. may have played to kiss the red out by the black. But either way, he's landed on the pink to middle.
Seven.
Good cueing again from Trump from the side cushion. Not easy when you've got so little of the cue ball to aim at. But again, he managed to hit it sufficiently well to get out for this blue. And he's never been remotely fazed by going in and out of balk. Even though, once again, the cue ball isn't great.
30.
Yeah, this time it's not good at all. This red to the right of the black from there is quite a difficult one. Awkward cueing. Well, if you're going to miss those
13.
playing them that gently, you're always going to miss them thick in contact, which he did. Don't know why it is, but it'll always be the way you miss them. Just holding for the black, I suppose.
One.
A little bit sloppy there. He didn't want to brush that red on the way through. He wanted to be straighter on the red to hold for the black. Now he can't do that.
Jiahui.
The cueing was awkward enough for that red to be missable, so he has lost his way a little since he missed that much easier red into the opposite corner after such a great start to the evening with the century. He's barely troubled the scorers since then.
Yes, and chances haven't been coming, but that was a half-decent opportunity there. As I say, the positional side of it from the previous shot was probably the reason he missed when he did. The worst place to finish. No position on the blue ball, to his annoyance. Not his. Well, he's not going to risk a shot at a bolt colour here. He can't see any reason to present an easy chance back to Jiahui, who could do with something right now.
Yellow ball. The trump. One.
got to be careful here on the way back up from safety not to hit that left-hand red. It's not quite in play. If you call something a little thick, he could hit it. The natural up and down just misses the red, sending the cue ball into bulk. But when you've got Judd Trump playing the shot after you, you know, you have to make sure your safety is absolutely immaculate. Well, he's faced with this sort of a shot at the last time he came to the table in that top left-hand corner. But taking a different route this time. That's a very good safety shot. I mean, I don't think you could beat that from where he was. That's first class. It's a very good exchange, this one. Judd is holding his own to anything that's thrown at him in the safety department by Jiahui.
Just 5 balls potted from Jiahui in the last hour of play. And it all started with that routine red when he looked set to make another sizable break, having made the century in the first frame tonight. But since then, very little from him. Doing his best here to win this safety battle, give himself a chance to stay in the match. Keep Trump on 8 frames, as Neil mentioned. Good cue ball. It was a very difficult shot. He did well to avoid hitting something. Heading back to bolt, but he hasn't found the cushion and he's left a thin red. But he was in a lot of trouble, actually. That's a handy nudge, but you wouldn't want to deny him it because he hasn't potted many balls, as we've heard, not recently. And if there's going to be any kind of a comeback, he's going to need a few kisses to go his way. Yeah, and he won the safety battle, that was key. Left Trump in quite a predicament just now, and that has created this chance for him.
4.
Obviously the black isn't great at the moment.
5.
Now, he's quite congested into that left corner, but the red obviously goes through the gap and the black to follow it, so that was a very good shot to finish there.
11. $80. $19. $24.
Well, he was looking across at the black, which is obviously fairly
25.
tight, but to that right corner it does go.
Judd Trump sitting in his chair for once for a
32.
sustained spell. Jiahui left him in an awkward spot on the baulk cushion, and that has created this chance. A chance, if nothing else, just to get that cue arm going again, because as we mentioned,
40.
he's potted precious few balls since he made the century in the first frame of the night.
41. $48. $49.
Played it well to run around the 3 cushions like that, to get on the black again. Been a good break this. He needs this red to leave Snooker's required, but he's taken them so well because there were so many
56.
reds around the black spot when he came to the table. This is excellent stuff. Stopped the rot in no uncertain terms with this break.
A vital intervention from C. Needed to keep Trump a couple of
64.
frames from the winning line, really. And he's done that in fine style by the looks of it. Just checking the scoreboard. 54 the lead, only 43 left.
Jiahui, 64.
And Judd Trump nods his head. So, Jiahui gives himself a realistic chance of turning this final around by winning that frame and getting the gap back to just 3. Judd Trump now leading 8 frames to 5.
Frame 14.
After Judd Trump won
See Jiahui.
3 consecutive frames, 2 of them with centuries for 8-4. C stepping in with that excellent 64 break to close to 8-5. 10, of course, is the target for the title. The first prize of £80,000 and the Brandon Parker Trophy. As C brings a red up the table, but he's covered it, I believe. Certainly he's got a good cue ball. Tatiana Williston having a good look. He's been playing some decent safety in the last frame and a bit. Jiahui, and of course that is vital against an informed Trump, that he keeps the cue ball on that baulk rail. Red's certainly fanning out very invitingly. Another good return this time from Trump.
Yeah, and Jiahui just almost applauded that shot because it really was well played. A little shake of the head. There's been some very fine safety played by both players in this evening's session. And how does he get a thin edge of anything? Or failing that, is there a containing shot? I don't think there is to this end of the table, with the red fairly low on the left side. So it doesn't leave a lot. He might end up having to go for something. If there's no other alternative, he wouldn't want to, because the pot would be pretty nasty. Just wondering if he can get to the edge of the bunch, the 4 reds, and throw it wide around the angles. But after a minute plus of checking, there is no obvious shot. So you might be coming to the point where you think, right, there's no safety, I must at least try and pot a ball, put my way out of trouble. I decided not to. It's okay in the end. People was travelling a little bit. Could have gone around the back of that red. In the end, it's a fairly decent defensive option.
It's already been a very lucrative week for Judd Trump, of course. 80,000 on the line tonight if he wins, but he's already bagged 150,000 for winning the Bet Victor European Series bonus for a 3rd time with a tournament to spare, the Welsh Open, in a week's time. No one can catch him. Just a measure of his consistency, the success he's had this season already.
1.
He's so good at that shot, rolling something to middle on the way back up the table to bulk. He's a shot he plays so well. All part of his game is how he creates chances from not much. Like the frame earlier, which looked for all the world like it was going to be a re-rack because nothing was happening for a number of shots, and he potted a red to that left middle again. Made a big break from it.
5.
And that's also very nicely played. Exactly the nudge he was looking for. He might be able to shift the other two reds here as well. They're in the way of the black to the other pocket. He's played 4 good shots in a row here.
A very rare mobile phone here at the Templedrum. You don't hear them very often.
13.
But Trump back in the zone, it would seem.
You know why that is, don't you, Phil? That mobile phone is so rare here is because when the MC Rolf Kalb requests that people turn off their mobile phone, as you get everywhere else at the Templedrum, they actually do it. They do turn their phone off and don't ignore the advice.
Yes, etiquette here has always been outstanding. Just very passionate about their snooker. Of course, they had the privilege of watching their own man, Lucas Kleckers, on the table earlier this week against Trump. Sadly for Lucas, it didn't work out. Trump was in unforgiving mood, won 5-0, but the truth is they just love the sport, period.
19.
Doesn't matter who's playing. And they create quite an atmosphere.
20. $27. 28. 35. 36. 43. 44.
'Played on the loose reds there. The bunch were a little awkward there, the way they were placed. The cue might have just deflected off them and up the side of the table. So he played the shot because he's nearing the point of winning the frame.
$57. 58.
Now this time now he's cleared those two reds that were open. He probably has to play to deflect into the bunch in some way. Still 75 on, so he does need a red and a colour after this black. unless there's some kind of a plant there, it is end of break.
65.
The three reds are fairly well lined up to the corner pocket, but surely that would be very fortunate if he's on a plant. You know what, it's not a million miles away. I think if he were to miss this, it probably would be left side of the pocket as we were looking. But does he really need to take that risk? It's the one way back into the frame for Jiahui, perhaps. Of course, the other thing he doesn't want to do is get the other red off the cushion, the safe red. It's left him in something of a predicament. Well, I think the problem is he might miss this to the left jaw if he's going to miss it at all. It went in off the left jaw, but what a shot to take on.
It went in resoundingly with a great rate of knots. The crowd certainly were thrilled by that one, and even Jiahui is applauding it.
66.
I think he felt as if he didn't really know what else he could play, because it was a risk, given that he's a long way in front of the frame.
Is this in, though? He was up very early, never a good sign.
Judd Trump.
Still 67 on the table.
Wow. After that plant and all the shots before, he misses frame ball. So there's just a glimmer of hope in this frame for Jiahui. Blacks with all these 5 reds, though. That's the first objective. Nothing else will do.
What a frame this would be for C to steal. That could certainly change the dynamic in this final. Trump was nailed on, it seemed, there for 9-5. 4 up with 5 to play. This would be a huge boost for Jiahui if he could somehow conjure a clearance here.
9.
It's going to take some doing, though. I think the red on the right's the problem red, more so than the one on the cushion, because you know he's got to get on it and get on the black from it, with the middle pocket blocked off by the blue. But for now, he's got to take what he can, see where it leads.
16. 17. 24. 25.
Every shot being cheered at the moment. The neutrals in this venue will want C to come back, I'm sure. Make this tight.
As I say, that was always going to be the problem red, though.
32.
And he's very disappointed, understandably, but if he can put a good safety shot in, then maybe the door is still not closed on him for this frame.
Jiahui. 32.
Wow. It's end up a good shot, but he actually hit that blue, which was close enough to the pocket before he hit it. Thankfully, it never dropped in.
This has become the biggest frame of the final so far. Judd Trump looked a certainty when he knocked in that terrific plant to make it 9-5, but then missed the blue, allowing C back into the frame. Trump is only one pot away from winning it even now, but at the moment snookered on that red. And there's nothing safe. Good hit, trusting to luck where the red ends up. Wasn't far away from fluking it. Has he snookered him nevertheless? Would appear he has done.
I think hitting that snooker was also very significant because it'll still be that Jiahui needs a black with this red. Any other colour, lower value with the blue over the hole would have been okay had he missed the snooker. Difficult one, this. Ooh. Well, it was a really awkward red, and he had to screw around the angles for the black, but he left it unmissable.
Just this red for Trump for 9-5.
1.
And he'll be relieved because having missed the blue, there was definitely some jeopardy there for Trump. But now, Jiahui finds himself in the same predicament as he did in his very first German Masters match this season against Liu Haoshan. 4 down with 5 to play.
8.
Surely lightning can't strike twice. Not against Judd Trump in this mood.
11. 15. 20. 26.
Judd Trump clears to the pink and moves to within 1 frame of a 3rd German Masters title. Jiahui now has a mountain to climb. Judd Trump extending his lead to 9 frames to 5, 1 away from the trophy. So frame 15, Judd Trump breaking off in the frame. He hopes will carry him to the title. 9-5 in front.
Well, I think if he is going to make any sort of a comeback, Jiahui, he's going to have to really get his scoring together and win frames quickly and in a single scoring visit. And play basically the snooker of his life from here.
Touching ball.
Well, the touching ball is the call. I wonder if Judd can reach across and attempt to pot this. If so, it was not much of a shot that was played by Jiahui to leave it on. Yeah, the left-hander's shot, isn't it?
One.
Your right-handed play, you could never get to that from that side, obviously. That came as a big surprise. Just putting a bit of extra pace into it to take the cue ball away from the cushion. Back into the middle of the table, but I didn't think he'd miss it. Doubt anyone here in the Temperdrum thought that either.
One. Five. Six.
Nicely done. Just caught the left jaw, but that I think might have made the shot on the black a little straighter than he hoped for, but the pot was a decent one. Well, John will be a little surprised by the blue he missed. It was one he would very rarely miss. How costly will it be? That's a great shot, but he hasn't, it seems, got on the black very well, if at all. He's taking this on. Oh, what a shot that is. It's almost like he's had enough of playing safe and he wants to just make things happen. Brilliant.
16.
He's going to need another good pot. This is by no means a formality. Very nearly fluked it.
Jiahui, 16.
As he left it. I think maybe the yellow's covering the pocket. Feels like do or die, doesn't it, for C?
Well, I don't blame him throwing his cue at a few and seeing what comes of it. But he has left the red on. That's the problem. Yellow's not covering.
One.
It was such a good yellow to keep the break going, but it's hard to keep potting difficult balls into the bunch here. Great split. He's on a couple of reds, certainly the red to the right corner, but I wonder if anything else was available to him. He deserves to be on something after that shot. It's quite a thin red, isn't it? From the overhead you can see that right-hand red. It's quite thin contact, more so than it looks. So through the gap, the other red.
6.
Amazingly, he's kind of come in between about 3 or 4 possible reds that he could have gone for. He is on one, I think, the one to the right, but he's very tight either way. Yeah, that will pot. You can definitely get through to the potting angle there, if nothing else is available. He's thinking about the possibility of getting on the black from it. Anyway, up the table he's gone.
11.
He's tying up the fact that the black could be on to the left corner from certain areas on the right side.
Brown ball.
See Jiahui resolved to go all out on the attack at the start of this frame. Potted a couple of great balls, but the awkward
16.
red eluded him, and he did leave one for trump. This is the result. And now, the 2 times winner of this event, looking to go for the jugular.
$22. $23.
Well, he's turned this into a chance to get the match won when Jiahui, when he went for that red and missed it, he felt that the red was being covered perhaps by the yellow, close, and he would get more chances,
30.
but it might be that he won't get another shot from here. This was the ball he missed, nearly fluked it into a different pocket, but when it came to rest, it might have been covered on a different day by the yellow, but it just went past it.
I think he'll look back at that red he missed in the second frame of the evening. He'd started quite brilliantly, the perfect start, making a century off Judd Trump's break.
37.
And he was in early in the next. And this is the red in question. Came out of the blue, really, when he might have been eyeing 5 each. And then, of course, it's a very different final. But since then, Trump has very much been in charge. Played superbly.
43.
Well, he has. I mean, this has been an interesting week for Judd because he has played very well when pushed, especially this evening.
44.
But I don't think he's played at his best all week. You know, he's almost limped through the odd match just by his determination and his all-round game. Safe in the knowledge that when the good stuff comes along, he's virtually untouchable. And it's just another week of hard work for him,
50.
culminating in being here on finals day and playing some terrific snooker. He can't pot all the balls all the time, and he's found a recipe and a blend that can get him home in early round matches.
36 the lead.
Yeah, so taking the pink, Jiahui can still win, but not for very long, I don't suspect. This is tournament ball coming up.
57.
Didn't win a single ranking event last season, even though he did claim the Masters, and now he's a ball away from his 4th in this campaign already. And as so many pots have been this evening, in particular, right in the centre from Judd Trump, he's been ruthless. It's been a great week for Jiahui after the disappointment of the way in which he lost the World semi-final last season. He's got to his first ranking final. He's moved to a career high ranking in the process. But he's going to fall a little short tonight in the face of the form player. Utterly
64.
dedicated to what he achieves on the match table. Judd Trump treats every tournament with equal importance and respect, and he's snaffled yet another one.
He has. He can't make a century here. Can reach 99. That's about it, but not that that's a bad break to make. And while he's got an eye on centuries, I don't think he's worried. What he's got an eye on tonight is the trophy, and he's about to lift it again. It's been a terrific week here in Berlin, and slightly extended tournament has enabled a lot of the best players to be around, and one of the very best has won the whole thing again.
Nothing like the feeling when you know the job is done, another trophy has been bagged. It's like the victory lap for Trump, and stand by all pockets when he's in this mood. The winning machine that is Judd Trump has done it again. It's a record third German Masters title for the Juddernaut. What a performance in front of this capacity Berlin crowd at the Templedrome. A wonderful achievement again from Trump. A fourth title this season in his seventh final. He has defeated Jiahui.
1000 Pfund Siegprämie, die Brandon Parker Trophy und der Titel Bet Victor German Masters Champion 2024 für ihn, für Judd Trump.
Another phenomenal season for Judd Trump. His fourth title in his seventh final. That's 27 ranking titles for his career. He's only one behind the legendary Steve Davis now, and he's still only 34, Neil.
Yes, he's unbelievable. He treats all of these events the same. He loves it here in Berlin, and why wouldn't he? What a crowd, and it's a fabulous tournament. He just loves winning. So it's absolutely terrific to see him lift the trophy here again. Fantastic. The best players won.